back here with Muse Paint Bar to teach you how to create a very simple and easy cool ghost painting. So I'm going to go over my materials very quickly and then we're going to go step by step. So today I'm working on an 8x10 canvas panel. Of course, you can use any canvas size that you wish. I have a water vessel with some paper towels to clean and dry off my brushes. And I'm working with 3 different brushes today. Of course, you can use more brushes if you have them, but the 3 main brushes that we should all have is one nice big square flat brush, one medium brush, and one small pointy brush. Now I like to put those brushes inside of my water just to wake up those bristles, make sure our brushes are nice and fresh. I also have my palette here with me. I'm working with these colors. I'm working with yellow, orange, a fluorescent violet, which is kind of like a magenta color, blue, black, and white. Of course, if you don't have all these colors, you can find ones that are similar. Maybe grab some red. You can make the orange with some red and yellow paint. You can even make something like fluorescent violet with some red, blue, and white paint to get a nice purple color. And then I also have my mixing plates because I want my palette to stay nice and fresh. All right, let's get started. I'm going to be mixing up my background colors. First, we're going to grab a mixing plate and our large brush. We're going to be mixing together a yellow for a background. I'm going to grab just a little bit of white paint and a nice big scoop of yellow. The white paint just helps to thicken it up. I do want it to stay nice and vibrant. Now with this yellow, what I want us to do is paint the bottom, I would say 1/4 of our canvas with this yellow. The bottom 1/4 of our canvas with this yellow. I like to work back and forth from side to side. If you want more of a Van Gogh style, you can do little tick marks, but if you want it to be nice and smooth, we'll work from edge to edge. Now while that paint is still wet, we're going to quickly mix up our next color and add it in so that they blend. So to this yellow, I want you to add some orange or a tiny bit of red if you only have red, and some white paint. We're going to get a nice light orange, a nice tangerine. Now with this, I'm going to be putting one line of orange above my yellow, just like so. And then with barely any paint on my brush, I'm going to start to bring that paint down into the yellow, again working back and forth, side to side, and you'll see that the colors start to blend. Now if they're not blending, the reasons could be that your paint is too dry, so go ahead and wake it up. You could either wake it up with a little bit of water or just more of that yellow paint if the yellow dried up. All right, so now we have a very pretty sunset gradient from yellow to orange. I'm going to clean off my brush, and now we're going to be working up from the top of our canvas down. So we're going to be mixing up a nice kind of deep dark purple. With my large brush, get it nice and clean. I'm going to grab a scoop of my fluorescent violet, or you can mix up a purple with blue, red, and white. I'm going to grab a tiny bit of blue and a tiny bit of black. I'm going to mix those up, and I have this dark purple shade. I'm just going to be putting one line of this up at the top of my canvas. Just one line of it. Then we're going to be mixing up a lighter purple. So again, if you don't have the fluorescent violet, just maybe add some more white for the purple that you have, or don't add any black so that it's nice and vibrant. But if you have the colors I'm working with, it's a scoop of fluorescent violet, a very, very small touch of blue, and a very small touch of white. Again, I'm going to be putting one thick line of this color below the dark purple, and then I'll slowly work to blend the two together. Next color we're going to be creating is a nice sky blue, so I'm going to clean off my brush, and we're going to grab one scoop of white and a half a scoop of blue and mix those up. Now I want you to paint all of this middle section with the blue. You're not going to blend it with the orange paint just yet. We're going to have a method to do that here in a little bit. But paint in the blue here in the middle, and then you're going to blend it with the purple that is above it. Now, once you have your blue and purple blended, go ahead and clean off your brush. We're going to get back into our orange paint to start blending along the bottom edge of this blue. Now, we don't want to blend it a lot because we're going to get a lot of greens here. We just want to do very minimal streaks of this orange here. We almost get a nice rainbow sky. I like how colorful it is. Now we are going to be taking a dry break because if we put paint on top of this, it will get really muddy. So let's give yourself about 10 to 15 minutes and then we'll come back together. All right, now that our painting is dry, we are going to go ahead and start on the clouds in our sky. I'm going to be grabbing my medium brush. And we're actually going to be mixing up a really light gray color. So I'm going to grab a scoop of white and the smallest amount of black you can probably get on your brush. Now, these clouds are going to have straight flat bottoms and then really fluffy kind of hilly tops. So I'll show, for example, one cloud here. I'm just going to draw a line across. And then I'm going to slowly build up these little bumps up towards the center and then bring them back down to the edge, just like so. Now you can have some clouds that are touching other clouds. You can have ones that are really itty bitty and by themselves somewhere else. It's up to you how many clouds you want in your sky. Maybe you have more of a clear evening. Now, while that paint is still wet, I'm actually going to add a little bit of orange. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow and white to it, just to make it a little bit lighter. We're going to add just a single line of this along the bottom edge of our clouds. Add some color in there. And next, we want to paint in our ghost. So I'm going to use my medium brush in white paint. We're going to be drawing basically like a really steep rainbow shape that goes not directly in the center of our canvas, but to the right just a hair. And the top of our ghost is going to be just shy of the bottom of this cloud here in the middle, in the center, right there. He's going to come all the way down to the bottom. You can even have his body kind of flare out at the bottom. All right, we got in our ghostie. Now is when you can start thinking of a good name for him, her, whatever you want to name your ghost. I think I'm going to name mine Stan. Stan the ghost. So next up, we're going to be getting into the ground, and I'm putting it around my ghost, so not over top because my ghost is all the way in the front. So I'm going to be taking my small brush in black paint, and I want my ground to be just shy of where like the yellow meets the orange paint. From there, I'm going to kind of draw a nice wiggly line across. Make sure you stop at your ghost. You don't go on top of him. And then I'm going to trace the outside of the ghost and then fill in the space of ground. Next, we're going to go ahead and paint a tree. So this tree is over here on the left side. I'm still going to use my small pointy brush, and we're going to work from top down. The biggest thing about these trees is you want the top to be very thin, and you want the bottom to be thick. So to do that, you're going to add a very light pressure, meaning you're barely touching the canvas at the top of your tree. At the bottom of your tree, you're going to press really hard onto your canvas, making those lines really thick. So let's start with just the basic shape for our tree. I'm going to start here at the top and then just kind of wiggle my way down. Doesn't need to be a perfect line. I'm going to thicken up this trunk a little bit. There we go. And then we can start branching out for the branches. Now, when I think of making tree branches, you can do these two ways. You can start at the tip of your branch and you can simply merge onto the trunk of your tree. Kind of like you're merging onto a highway if you're driving. Or if you don't quite understand the merging, maybe think of a banana peel. So you can start on the trunk of your tree and peel off of it like a banana peel. Main thing is you don't want your tree branches to be 90-degree angles. From there, I'm going to add smaller branches onto those. You can add a ton of branches, you could add just a few. It's your tree, it's your painting, your world. There we go. We have a nice little spooky tree over there. Next, we're going to add some detail work to our ghost. So we have some shadows towards the bottom. We're going to be mixing up sort of like a periwinkle color with our small brush. It's like a blue, like a slight purpley tint to it. So I'm going to grab a scoop of white, a scoop of fluorescent violet, a small touch of blue. I have something like this. Now we're going to be drawing 4 lines up from the bottom of our ghost, and they're going to stop about halfway up the body of our ghost, using very light pressure so these lines are nice and thin. You can see that not all of them are the same height. Some of them go further up than others. Now I'm going to be adding a shadow to these. It's a little bit lighter, so I'm going to take some more white. I'm going to add that white in to my periwinkle. Now it's just very, very pale. And on the right side of these lines, I'm going to draw a line next to it. Now it's time to make our ghost a cool ghost. We're going to add some fun little sunglasses. So clean, small brush and black paint. I want the glasses to be like really wide upside down triangles. So I'm going to have one right here. Make a line in the middle to connect the 2 glasses. I'll make another one. All right, looking super cool, super cool. Clean, small brush. I'm gonna take that really, really pale purple that we just used for the shadows in our ghost to put a couple of shadows underneath of the glasses. And the last step here, we're going to add a couple of highlights in the top of the glasses lens. So I'm going to grab a little bit of white paint with a clean small brush and just draw 2 lines along the top edge. 1, 2. If it blends a little bit with that black paint, that's okay. Now, once you're done with your painting, don't forget to sign it. That way everybody knows that you have created this masterpiece and you know that you should show it off. I bet you're going to be really proud on how you did, and we would love to see what you're painting at home. You can post on social media, but don't forget to tag us at muse_paintbar so we can check it out. We have so many more tutorials on our page, so make sure you like and subscribe so you can watch some more and create some more. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.